Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Elevon, and I really wanted to make this video. I'm doing a huge day of shooting, so if you see a bunch of videos of me in the same shirt, I am batching today because my setup is here, so why not? I do want to talk about marketing in makeup and skincare, okay? It's more of like the umbrella topic, but then specifically go into Sephora and Too Faced. Those are the two brands I'm going to be focusing on today. But let's get into it here. So marketing in general, one of the things that has been occurring to me the past couple of months, I'm getting really sick and tired of going into my inbox and seeing things like, because you need this. Need is italicized. You know, now I'm older. I'm not gullible. Not that young people are gullible, but I'm just saying, you know, like they're more impressionable. Definitely. When you've been there, done that, you know to walk away from stuff like that. But I just kind of wonder, you know, they're blast emailing that stuff out to people. What if somebody is a little more impressionable? What if you're 19 and you're just getting into, you know, your makeup collection because now you have a job and now you can buy things? Instead of saving up for college or paying for your books, or if you're not going to college, you know, instead of getting your own place and all that stuff, you're blowing your whole paycheck on makeup, which is your prerogative to do if that makes you feel okay. But I just don't like the part that these companies are playing in trying to manipulate us into buying stuff. Now, this is not a new thing. Advertising does that. Of course, we know that. But I kind of want to hone in on this one. Let's get into the veins of it a little bit and watch the blood flow. Like, I just want to look at this for a second because a few things have happened over the past couple of days. So, I've been getting all of these emails, like I said, you need this, you need this. And then, you know, when you just start getting annoyed with a company, they're like, ooh, here's this other incentive for you to shop with us. All right. So classic for this would be Sephora. Sephora has been around for a very long time. They're known for giving you all these little perks, extras. In the past few years, they started doing the VIB level. So they started rewarding you with just 20% off, which 20% isn't that big a deal, honestly. You can find 20% off deals at a lot of places, namely like Macy's, Nordstrom. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe not off of all beauty brands. That's where it gets tricky and that's where they get you because things like Dior, Chanel, those don't typically go on sale. So with Sephora, they carry Dior, for example, you can get 20% off. You can get 20% off of fragrance because that, again, is something that doesn't typically go on sale. But anyway, they've started all of these little programs to entice you to come on in and buy with us. Don't go directly to the brand. Don't go to Ulta. Don't go to Dermastore. Don't go to Beautylish. Come to us, right? So one of the things that they have posted, and this is minor, you might call it petty, and I understand that on the surface it might seem petty, but there's a deeper thing going on, so I ask that you just keep an open mind. When you go to the Sephora website, it says right at the top, 3 free samples with every purchase. Okay, well, first of all, that's not what they do, and you need to be aware of that. What they're doing is a little shady because they're saying, if you do this, we will do this. Now, I personally have gotten boxes, plenty of boxes, with no samples in them, or samples that have nothing to do with what I had requested, okay? I was reading some of the comments on the Sephora chat. There's a little community tab that you can go into. This is a huge problem. Lots of women and men are out there saying, hey, I didn't get my samples either. Or like if you're a woman and you don't use men's products, you're getting tons of men's products. That happened to me. People who are allergic to fragrance, they're getting tons of perfume samples and not the skincare samples that they wanted. It's just been this big rampant problem. Now, for me, initially, like again, there have been several boxes where I've not gotten any samples, and I'm like, oh, that sucks. Dang it, why do they keep doing that? And it was a minor annoyance, but I'm like, they're just samples, whatever. And I would move on. Then when I started researching it a little bit more, I'm like, no. People came to Sephora and gave Sephora their business under the pretense that if I spend money with you, this other thing is going to happen. Like I'm going to get these samples. And that might have been one of the reasons, or I'm going to get a gift with purchase. For example, a lot of people on the chat room was saying, I never got my gift with purchase, and they took the points away from me, but they never gave me the gift. We're going to go deeper into this. Okay, so this is kind of false advertisement, okay? So these people are giving them their money as opposed to another company because Sephora is supposed to hold up their end of the deal and they're not. Now, I think it's already kind of problematic that Sephora is, it seems like Sephora, if Sephora were a person, it has this mentality of like, they're just samples. I mean, if I have them, I'll give them to you. But if I don't, I don't. Then take it off your website that there are 3 free samples with every purchase. I used to do copywriting. The word purchase is actually very misleading in and of itself. All of us know that it means per order, okay? But when you say per purchase, that means everything that you're purchasing within your basket. They're not wording it correctly. You have to watch that. Okay? Again, we all know that. We all know it's like they're using the term purchase as in, like the whole thing. But they're not even holding up that end of the deal. Okay? So they're taking advantage of people, they're luring people in, and then they're not following through with what they say they will do. The other problem with Sephora is the flash shipping. So if you pay a certain amount, you can get free 2-day shipping. Okay. There's like a lawnmower going on or something. I don't know. You're supposed to get free 2-day shipping. This does not happen. I have that, and I have had to wait a very long time for my packages. Sometimes I've lost track, and I've been like, wait, I never got my package. Like, what the heck? Okay. So that's another way where they are taking people's money and then they're not delivering on what they said they would give you. They're not allowed to do that. Oh, well, we got backed up. Not my problem. You are Sephora, okay? You are a big company that is being helped out quite exponentially by YouTubers. Not me. I'm just teeny tiny over here on this, this channel. My main channel, that's my main focus. That one's bigger. But here, I mean, we have lots of YouTubers who have millions of followers, and they, give Sephora a lot of free publicity, okay? Or, VIB sales, the VIB sale haul. I did one, that's become like a thing. Twice a year, people do that. YouTubers will do videos of like, get ready for your VIB sale, so they help hype it up by telling you what you should be prepared to buy. So if YouTubers, which, YouTubers are still considered like the common people having a voice. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I think they're redoing the apartment underneath me. But anyway, they're getting all this hype. You would think, they're getting help from the common man, so to speak. You would think that they would treat their customers a little bit better. Like, follow through, be trustworthy. And that's what it comes down to. Sephora, you're not trustworthy. You're not trustworthy. When I pay for free flash shipping, I don't care that it's the VIB sale. I don't care that it's the holidays. You're big enough to hire the appropriate people. You can do it. You can make sure that stuff is happening. You got to up your game when it is the holidays, okay? You don't slack off. This isn't the time for you to make mistakes, to have fulfillment centers that aren't putting samples into people's boxes, or they're putting samples in there that nobody wants, or you're forgetting the gift with purchase. Okay, people are throwing money at your company. We deserve better treatment. So there's that. The other thing that I have a huge problem with Sephora is their packaging. Ugh. I ordered a makeup blender, a beauty blender for my sister. Okay, when it arrived, beauty blenders are this big. Okay, that could have gone into like, I don't care. It could have gone into like a padded envelope for, for a few cents. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. They sent it in a huge box. This tiny little beauty blender, they sent it in a huge box. Also, when you put it in a big box like that, instead of it just being easily slipped into my mail slot, which would have been fine, and most stuff can travel just fine that way. Just a little bit of thinking is all it takes, right? To wrap it up and make sure it's okay. And instead of slipping it into my mailbox, now I have to go get a P.O. box and hope that whatever you're sending me will fit in one of the parcel lockers. But now I'm having to do an extra thing to go get the box because you couldn't package it properly. Ugh. So what else am I mad about Sephora? The other thing with Sephora, okay, let me tell you about this. Customer service. Now, customer service for me has been hit or miss with Sephora. When I had a package that was saying it was going to take almost 2 weeks to get to me, I wrote to them, I'm like, no, unacceptable. No, I'm paying for flash shipping. You're charging me for that. Why am I not getting my package? What do you mean it's going to take up until this point? Customer service did not answer me. I got on the chat forums and I left another, string of comments and whatever, and I was talking to other people about this. Customer service never reached out to me. And other women were reporting that when customer service would reach out to them, especially about, say, the samples, some of them got the response of, well, you know, samples are not guaranteed. You don't get to say that. You're wrong. You do not get to say that. If you are going to go by that business model, you need to take it off your website, because you're luring people in, again, under false pretenses. So that's number one. Yet other people are saying, well, they gave me 75 points as compensation. So if you don't know, Sephora has this rewards program. So every dollar you spend, you get a point. And this seems like this is this great rewards program, and it can certainly be. If you're just somebody who shops at Sephora all the time, you may as well get a little something back for your money. But when they are compensating you with 75 points, first of all, 75 points, the reward started at 100 points, okay, for the tiny little somethings, right? So that doesn't even get you a free anything. And in order, I think at 750, the level of 750, you don't have to purchase things anymore. But, excuse me, for the 100-point level, you have to purchase something before you can get your reward. So you're going to have to buy more in order to make up the 25 points, number one. So that's $25 worth of merchandise. And you still have to make the purchase to get the, do you see what I'm saying? It's a racket. I'm telling you, it is so not okay. And just today, I was looking at the rewards. The rewards after 500 points start to get really, in my opinion, just start to get really stupid. There's one on there. It's a Kat Von D one. And it's for 750 points. Now remember, or no, excuse me, is it 750 or is it 1,000? It might be 1,000. Remember, if you have 1,000 points, you've spent $1,000 in makeup at Sephora within the past year. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong on that. All this is a little makeup bag, and with Kat Von D, it looks leather, but Kat Von D is vegan, I think, so it's by a vegan leather bag. A brush, like a face foundation brush, and 2 little samples of perfume, and then 1 mini sample of perfume. And then it looks like there's like a mini powder or something. For my $1,000, that's all you're giving me? That stuff isn't even worth 20 bucks put together. And yet, people are going crazy for this stuff. Honey, if you want a vegan makeup bag, there are plenty of vegan designers out there that you could go to and, you know, give them your 20 bucks and get a really nice one that is in the color that you want. You can get a face brush like the one that's in there, maybe not a Kat Von D one, but you can get one similar for like 10 bucks. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about here? Okay. So these rewards are just getting silly. And actually, the higher you go, the more ridiculous they become. I don't know. Like, some of them are like, what? I'm sorry, now I'm just being so negative. One of them is like a makeover at Too Faced. And I'm like, and you have to travel. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Like, what? I have to fly to New York? So some person who works for Too Faced can do my makeup? I maybe because I work for Estee Lauder, and you know, they had MAC, they had Bobbi Brown, they had all the brands. I don't care about that. That's not that big of a sell to me. And I'm talking, this is like when you spent like $10,000, then you get to go off and have like a makeover with somebody. Like, I don't know how that adds up. But I think what I want to do for, you know, the coming months is I want to start doing a makeup detox. I want to start just using what I have and working with it, because I think we have gotten into this mode of consume, and we're spending money on stuff and not using it. Stuff is going bad before we can even get to it. So no, and I already have a backlog. God knows I have way too much makeup, and I have another palette coming. We're going to get to Too Faced here. I'm going to tell you about that here in a moment. But yeah, I think in 2018, the videos are going to be, you know, travel reviews. I'm still going to be reviewing makeup, but let's do more playtimes. Let's just like do the makeup detox thing where we're using what we have. Okay, I think they stopped the noise outside finally. So we were talking about, I was getting ready to go into Too Faced. So Too Faced, my thing with that was I just ordered a couple of things from them, and literally like a few hours later, they put out a coupon for 30% off. I hate that. That ticks me off so much. And that's part of that marketing thing, you know? Like, now I'm tempted to go in and buy something else because of how I have this 30% off coupon. And then I kind of was like, no, I don't care if this sounds petty. I wrote to customer service and I said, here's my order number. I just put this order in. Can you apply this coupon, please? It's kind of ridiculous, you know? Like, I just bought this stuff. Can I get the coupon? So they ignored me. They just don't answer. And Too Faced is also very good for taking a huge long time to process things. So that's too, like, I'm just kind of tired of being treated that way as a consumer. And I wrote to them again and I said, this is ridiculous that you guys don't answer people. I am so sick of this. I'm done. And they just ignored that as well. So not only do we have the customer service issues and like Sephora's not, holding up their end of the deal and so on and so forth, we now have, I don't know, like we're just so accepting of what we're seeing in the advertising. Now, this isn't just fair to just look at Sephora and Too Faced around this, but, it's everybody who does this. But I know, like, for example, Sephora, they sell anti-aging stuff, and every once in a while, for good measure, they'll throw in a picture of a woman with silver hair. But that's not the norm. That's not what happens on the daily. You know what I mean? I don't like how, especially on the Sephora website, if you go to the community, there's like pictures of these like young women, and they're all like, oh, like, I don't know, like, oh, gossip or something. It's just kind of portraying them not as like young and vital and fun, but as shallow and gossipy and, I don't know, naive or something. I don't dig it. I don't dig it at all. And I'm sick of seeing like my age group not being represented when we're probably spending way more money than, the 19-year-old that is trying to get started in her life. And that takes us right over into Too Faced because, their whole branding is all about cartoons and cutesy and, so on and so forth. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And it definitely appeals to my inner child, don't get me wrong. And I do like a lot of their products. I just don't like that every time you go to their website, it looks like a bunch of teenagers on there. Now, if you just want to market to teenagers, then by all means, keep going. I don't have to buy anything from you ever again. There are a lot of other players in the game. So and that kind of gets reinforced again through them using YouTubers. So they send them PR packages, they do reviews, which is all well and good. And I think that's great. Don't get me wrong. I love having that resource where I can go, watch a YouTuber who got a PR package and watch them use it and whatever. And I love that Too Faced actually supports Candy Johnson. I'm a huge fan of hers. And I love that their stuff is scented. I know people are like, oh, I don't like scented stuff, but this stuff smells like chocolate and peaches and candy. I mean, it's good. It's good. And I'm a huge fan of their lip products. But I'm not a fan of the customer service. I'm not a fan of feeling, I don't know, should I throw out the term ageist? Should I throw that out there? And I think that's interesting too because the founders are older than I am. So why don't they have more sympathy towards representing everybody? You know what I mean? I guess because it would be ridiculous to have someone my age holding a peach palette and being like, look, isn't this cute? But still, we're using the products too. Just overall, the marketing I feel is misleading, and they're really pulling on this younger crowd and representing young women as if I don't know, kind of feeding into this whole idea that women are shallow, that we only care about our looks and our hair, and we just obsess over a lipstick. And, we might say that jokingly or whatever, but when it is out there, like in our face constantly, and that's what's being used to sell makeup, okay? And YouTubers, we have a responsibility as well. We got to watch how we're saying things. They're like, oh my God, I die. Oh my God, this is everything. Again, we talk like that, I guess, but overall, I think my big problem is that women are just sort of portrayed as being ditzy and shallow. Oh, I'm obsessed. Oh, I have to have it. Oh, I can't live without my... Come on. That makes it look like that, like makeup and skincare and hair and shoes and handbags and jewelry, like that's all we ever focus on in life. Is there a makeup brand out there that gets behind the strength of women? What about the men who wear makeup? Why aren't they being a little more represented? It's just it's starting to feel old-fashioned. And again, I would just encourage YouTubers out there, let's start speaking up about this and not just sucking up to get free product or just sucking up because we want a brand to sponsor us for something. You know what I mean? I get it. Like that's how YouTubers get paid. Ad revenue doesn't do it. Okay. You need the sponsorships. That's the only way you can pay the bills sometimes. But I feel like we have a responsibility to this younger generation to remind them, like, just because somebody gets in your face constantly and says, this is cute, isn't this adorable? And wave around, look, it smells like peaches. Okay, if I were younger, I'd be like, I'm older and I'm still like, okay, I want to, I just don't like what's happening to us as consumers. And I think with YouTube being the platform, we do have the power to start speaking out against that and letting people know, like, no, don't show us as if we don't care about anything but makeup because we're obsessed. Oh, I'm just so obsessed. If you really are, and I'm sure there are people out there who really only care about makeup, those aren't your role models, okay? And people who could be decent, wonderful role models aren't, you know, nobody's showing them. Nobody is giving them a voice. So I don't know. I just wanted to have that little mini rant because this has been going on, like I said, for a couple of weeks now, and I'm just sick of it. I'm just really sick of it. I think when I get these final things for the end of the year, I'm going to be done. I'm going to be done. So you're going to be seeing me talk about products still on the channel, but just know that when I pop open a palette, it's going to be really well used, and we're just going to play with it, and we're going to use what we have. All right, guys? So we'll leave it there. I'm sending you so much love, and take care.